Landing your ideal job is a process. This is part 2 of how to land your ideal job. Hello, I'm Stephen Goldberg of Optimus Performance, bringing you practical tips and ideas on leadership, team development, and employee performance in the workplace. In part 1 of how to land your ideal job, I talked about creating a vision board. And that's because you want to become clear of what you want as a job. What are the components of it? What will the workplace look like? What will be the setting like, the culture, the company? How does it fit with who you are? So you need to get in touch with all that. And that's why I created part 1 and walk you through the steps to do that. And there's not only a video, there's an article that lists all the steps and components for that. Now in part 2, it's about taking action. So once you have your vision board, you want to use that vision board to remind yourself of what it is you're looking for. Not only remind yourself, but generate that emotion, that energy, because that way you'll be directed through your own energy field to opportunities to find that job. And you'll also attract people and circumstances that will lead you in the right direction. But of course, it also takes concrete action. It's not just enough to dream about it. And I mentioned in that video too, you need to be realistic. You can't have a dream job or want to become an astronaut if you don't have all the prerequisites to do that. So there needs to be that reality check as well. But once you have listed or know what you want, now it's time to take action. And the first thing is to start to do some research. So that could be the companies that are in that niche of what you're looking for. The companies, not only the companies, but the type of company, where they're located. It's also about the people working there, because the people can be a great resource for you. If you're looking to do something that's a stretch for you, and maybe it's a complete change in what you've been doing, you want to find a resource, maybe a mentor type person that you can consult to find out how they got to be where they are. What are the steps they took? Maybe they could be a resource for the company they're working in if that's a potential employer for you. So connecting to people is really important. Now, you could do that through just making a list of people you know and talking to them and asking if they know anybody in that field. That's a possibility. A great resource is LinkedIn. You could find people through your own connections or through researching a company. You could see who works there and what degree of connection you are to those people. You could take a paid subscription to LinkedIn, where you have the opportunity to actually message people that are working in those companies. So you want to find those connections and find somebody that's willing to help you, either answer your questions or maybe connect you with people that you could talk to that can be influential to having you apply for a job there. Now, most jobs are advertised, but there's a lot that are not advertised. Great companies are always looking for talented people. And when that opportunity presents themselves, they'll be open to talking to you, especially if you could show them what you could bring to the table. Now, if you're really skilled in your field, let's say if you're a video game designer, which is in big demand, and you're not happy where you are, but you want to move somewhere else, And maybe that job is not something that's being published, but you could sell yourself to that company. If you have an idea that would help them in their business, they would even create a job for you if you could sell them on your idea. So it's about how you present yourself and what ideas you could bring to the table. And that way you could get into the company without actually applying for a job. Now, these are things that a lot of people will not take the time to do. I know a lot of people just send out their resumes if they're unhappy or looking for a job. But if you want to get something special for yourself, you have to be willing to do something that most people won't do. And that puts yourself into a special class of people. Because those that are willing to do what most people won't do are the ones that can create the greatest opportunities for themselves. So what are those steps? It's just what I'm saying. Do the research, find where you would like to work, connect with the people there, look for opportunities, what you could bring to that company that could add value to them and bring a benefit to them, and then sell them or connect with people that you could talk to there. That might mean bypassing human resources completely and going right to the functional manager and talking to him and finding out what he's missing on his team to help him be productive or help him achieve a particular goal. Because a manager, what they're there for is to achieve certain things in their department. And if you could show them how you could help them in that capacity, what you can bring to the table, they'll be willing to sit down and talk to you and listen to what you could offer them, what you could bring them as talent. And that's really what you have is your talent. So how you could sell that is really what you could leverage over other people that are just sending out their resumes. So these are tips that you can use to land your ideal job. And I've documented all this in greater detail in a blog article that you could find through the description of this video or this podcast if you're just listening to this as a podcast. So check that out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on notifications to get news of new videos and podcasts. Check out some of the related videos. Check out that other video and article on part 1 of landing your ideal job. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.